wanted to do a short video based on a question that I get asked a lot on YouTube. I'm going to answer this once, and I'm never going to answer it again. Probably. More than likely. Yeah, pretty sure. Anyway, so if you ask it under another video and I ignore you, just know I'm ignoring you with love. Lots of love. I'm just pretending I didn't even see it. The question I get asked a lot is, how do you strengthen your abilities? People will say, I have this and this going on with me. I know I have abilities, but I don't know how to strengthen them. Well, the first thing I would tell you is you need to find a teacher. And I don't know if people are asking that to avoid that that's the answer I'm going to give them. I'm so hesitant to say that because I am a mentor, I am a teacher, and every time I go to write it, I'm like, oh, they're going to be like, yeah, no shit, because you sell this and this is what you do. And it's like, no, you don't have to book with me. I don't care. You can find anyone that you resonate with that can help you strengthen your abilities. I would say that 90% of the people that come to me are people that have tried to learn on their own unsuccessfully, okay? And that's what I'm able to help them further with. Yes, it would be ideal if you could find a teacher, a mentor that can help you move fast in this, okay? You don't have to, though. You can totally do this on your own. And there's a lot of very good psychics and mediums and healers that have learned on their own. So I don't want you to think that that's not a possibility. From experience, I can tell you it can be daunting. It can be overwhelming, the amount of information, and it just becomes a lot of hit or miss trying to get things to click. That's where a teacher can make it easier, okay? But let's say you're like, no, screw you, I'm not finding a teacher, or I can't afford a teacher, or you just haven't found anyone that resonates with you, okay? One of the most important things you can do to strengthen your abilities is meditate. And some of you are probably like, oh, that word, meditate, it's so typical. Honestly, though, it's what cracked open my abilities. It's why I'm in front of you right now, sitting in my nice sweater, still wearing my pajama pants, telling you what you need to do. And I'm telling you, that is the thing that cracked open my abilities, and it's the thing that keeps my abilities moving in the right direction. Don't get me wrong, there's lots of moving parts to the question, how do I strengthen my abilities? And it's usually why I don't answer it, because it comes down to the person, what's going on with you, which could be a million things. And there's so many moving parts. It's not as easy as me just answering this short little paragraph on YouTube. But the thing that will help the most is mindful meditation. And here's why. Not only does meditation make you feel good, it also makes you very, very present. To receive divine guidance, information, tap into your intuition, you need to be very, very present to receive that. If you're kind of hanging out in the past mentally, or you're very anxious and in the future, that information cannot come in. All right. And I teach everyone I work with that very thing. I teach them when they're getting into their head and how to come back to their breath, back to the present moment, and try again. The thing is, though, if you're not doing that on a regular basis, once you come to me, it can be a little bit harder, because you have not been honing the ability to become very present very quickly. What do I mean by mindful? So unlike guided meditations, which have their own benefits, definitely, I prefer mindful meditation, which is bringing you to your breath, bringing you to the present moment, and even sending your awareness to different body parts to sort of anchor you into your body. Guided meditations for strengthening your abilities, I don't feel they work as good for that, because you're sort of looking at things and off floating around and what have you. And like I said, it's got its own benefits. I'm not knocking it. I've had some quite magical guided meditations. But for strengthening your abilities, for teaching you to become very present, mindful meditation is the way to go. Also, going back to one of the first things I said about making you feel better, that's also the point of meditation, is to soothe the mind and the body. If you are a very anxious person, or you are struggling with, you know, transient depression, or you're just in a low mood, it doesn't have to be something major. It can be like you're in a funk, or you're just not feeling that great. You will not be able to receive divine information clearly. It's not that you can't receive any, okay? Because obviously, as people, every day we feel different. Like some days we're like so happy and things are great, and the next day we're like, screw you. And, like, that's okay. I mean, I have that sometimes throughout the day. My attitude, my vibration ebbs and flows with what's going on in my life. No one's expecting you to be just this happy person where nothing bothers you. The divine is not expecting that of you. No one's expecting that of you. You're a human. You're here to have a human experience. But you are also not meant to be vibrating at a low level regularly. And if you are, that vibration is not a match for the higher vibrations of divine guidance, okay, and the information coming in through your clairs. So that's also what the meditation does, is it helps to raise your vibration, even though it doesn't feel like you're doing much. It can change so many things going on with you. And without going down a whole rabbit hole of the benefits of mindful meditation, because you can Google those, it can really change your life, because it changes how you feel. It can change your perspective. It can change how you react to things, how you are less triggered by things going on around you. And when you're present and you're calm, that's when you can start really tapping in to these intuitive abilities. I have a lot of people that they started meditating, but they didn't keep going because they don't feel they're doing a good job with it. Well, there isn't a bad job of meditating. That's one thing I want you to get out of your head right now. What's most important is that you're taking a few minutes to quiet the mind, close your eyes, and follow your breath in and out. Now, by quiet the mind, a lot of people think that means you're not supposed to have any thoughts. Well, good luck with that. You got a brain, you're a human, and you are gonna have thoughts. That's what the brain is supposed to do. What you want to do is you want to acknowledge those thoughts, but not cling onto them. When the thought comes in, you acknowledge it, and you watch it blow away like a cloud, and you come back to your breath. You might have to do that 100 times in 3 minutes. That is how you get better at meditating. A lot of people think, well, I sat down for 5 minutes and I meditated, but I just feel like I thought the whole time. That's okay. You'll have days of that, and you'll have days where you feel that the meditation was more quote unquote successful. Whether you feel it's successful or not, you are following your breath. You're giving yourself a few minutes of peace, and it has a cumulative effect on you. Thoughts will come in. That's okay. It's very rare to have no thoughts. Now, trust me, as you keep meditating, you will have moments where you're like, wow, I didn't even know 10 minutes passed. That means you're getting better at it. But to be honest, I've been meditating for a decade now almost. And I still have times where I sit down and I'm like, geez, that doesn't feel as good as the last time I did it, but I still did it. And you're still reaping the benefits of it, okay? Whether you realize it at the moment or not. So take the pressure off of your meditations. You do not have to be perfect at it. You are not trying to get somewhere in the meditation. I have a lot of people that say that, well, I wasn't able to do this and I didn't get to this place I usually get to. That you've lost the whole point of the meditation. You should not have any expectations on something. That's very important. Let go of expectations. Let go of needing to be at a certain place or have a certain feeling. A lot of people also are surprised at how little you need to meditate. There's some people that are like, well, I don't meditate very much because I don't have time. You need 30 minutes. My guides have me meditate 3 to 7. And when you're working with me, we also ask your spirit guides how long is a great time for you because they know you very well. They know your personality. They know what you'll keep up with. It's possible for some people that the longer you meditate, the less present you become because the mind starts to wander and you can actually become really ungrounded. You also don't want to be ungrounded. You need to be grounded to receive information clearly, or else the information you do receive can be very flowery and vague. All right. So that's what I want. I want you taking the pressure off the meditation. It would be much more important to meditate 2 or 3 times a day for 2 minutes than to sit down for a 30, 40 minute, like, okay, I'm going to meditate. Think of the energy behind how you're approaching it. This can go for meditation, for connecting to your spirit guides, really absolutely anything you're doing in your life. What is the energy like behind what you're doing? Is it anxious and kind of like, oh, I gotta get to this, I gotta do that? It's like the divine don't want you doing things with that energy behind it because that's not even the right vibration for meditating or connecting. You do not need to find a teacher where you live. And it's probably going to be hard to find one. I mean, some people live in these really small towns, in the middle of nowhere. Let me tell you what, I have taught people in 19 countries, all from this room in northern Michigan in my house, okay? And I'm bragging a little bit. I'm very proud of myself that I can say that. I would have never thought that years ago. If you would have told me this when I was 30, I'd have been like, sure, you're drunk. I have been able to reach people all from my computer or my phone. And I teach most everyone right over the phone. I don't even see them. I don't know what most people look like that I assist. And it still works just well. Being a psychic medium, being an intuitive, being a healer, it's very rare that you need to be in front of someone to read their energy and assist them. There are people, and you'll find this with yourself, maybe you find you do better when you're in front of people. That's one of your skill sets, and it's something that you'll learn as you're practicing and doing different things. But most people do not need to be in front of you to give you a psychic reading, and as a teacher and mentor, I do not need to be in front of you either. I just need to be able to talk to you, have you hear me, and be able to explain things. So stop letting that stop you. That the fact that you can't find anyone within the area you live to teach you. You don't need that. What you need is to find someone that you really resonate with, and that person may live in a whole other country.